we're not, we can't let you, you know, what she wanted to say was, you're too fat, you have to buy 2 seats, but this plane's too full, so you can't buy 2 seats, so you're going to have to go. Right. But she kept insisting that the pilot was saying this. And I was just like, I'm looking, because the pilot, where I'm sitting, there is no way possible for the pilot to see me, because I can't see the pilot. Right. Even if I lean all the way to the left, across the woman who's sitting next to me, maybe I catch a little piece of the pilot. But where we're sitting, based on where the galley is, there's no way this man could have fucking seen me. So she's saying, like the captain's saying, you've got to get up. And I was like, and I literally said, please don't do this to me. Are you serious? Like, are you telling me to get up? And I was like, everybody, like, this plane's full. Right. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, but ma'am, the armrest, look. And I put the armrests both down. Right. I was like, they were just up because they were up when I sat down. Like, these ladies had them up. I'm not, and I was like, I asked them, I mean, ma'am, are you squished? And the lady to my left was like, it's only an hour flight. Right. Which is fine. I mean, that's not the answer I was looking for, but, you know, fine, I'll take that. But the little old lady next to me can't hear shit. And I'm just like, ma'am, am I squishing you? And she goes, what? And I go, squish. What? And I make the squishy, like, squish. And she goes, I'm fine. And I was like, they're both fine. And the lady, and Suzanne goes, yeah, I'm sorry. Please, this is really, can you know, we'll try to make it up to you outside.
Oh my God. There is no making up
at this
for
point,
that.
I'm like, I got one of two things to do. I could sit here and defiantly be like, no, I'm not getting up, because I was not fitting in my seat.
You had your seatbelt on, and you had both of the armrests down.
But I didn't get to put my seatbelt on, because there was no, I was about to put my seatbelt on, but that didn't happen. But I mean, it wasn't a test. She wasn't like, well, let's see if you can put your seatbelt on. She wasn't giving me a choice. I put the armrest down, which is supposed to be
this bitch?
Southwest test. I don't know if it was her. That's the thing. I don't know if it was her. My guess, it was the fucking dude in the jetway, the dude who was like revenue. That guy, that guy. I think it was that dude, and I think that dude, like, after I sat down, fucking like waved her over, because before I put up my bag and before I was in the seat. 13 seconds before Suzanne was there, and she was all the way over at that other fucking desk. Right. So this was in motion before I even got into the plane, before I hit a seat, before I got into the aisle, before a fucking phantom pilot that saw me. And she, I don't know where it came from, but it wasn't as she represented it. So I'm sitting there going, what do I do? Like, this is potentially fucking humiliating, because as I sit down, when I first boarded, Silent Bob!
Of course.
Literally.
Inevitable.
I'm not fucking kidding. Like, you know, some people, I'm sure, like, nobody knows you are. Dude, I ain't shitting around. It's inevitable. Yeah, it's just fucking, it's there. After 15 years and many different platforms, I'm sorry, even if you don't understand it and hate my guts, people recognize me. So I'm on a plane.
It is true.
First few fucking rows, look up, and it's like, oh, and he's putting his bag away. He's grabbing his thing. It's him, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just at Macworld. Maybe some of them were at Macworld. Blah, 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 you know. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, I gotta get up, and everybody's gonna fucking know. Everybody's either gonna know I was too fat, or according to these fuckers, or assume I was too fat, or think I was like a shoe bomber.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, am I a fucking terrorist? Like, what is the safety issue?
How dare they?
What's the safety issue? I'm like, I keep asking later on, I'm like, am I going to explode? Is that the dude in Monty Python's? I'm like, what safety issue are you talking about? And nobody will fucking say it. Nobody will. I'll get there. So I'm looking at Suzanne, and Suzanne's making it clear that this is going to happen. And I'm not like, go get the captain, because I'm like, this is, I'm humiliated.
Well, we've talked about it before. You're not going to kick up a fuss on a flight. You're going to end up being escorted off in handcuffs.
No shit. Like, you know, I'm like, believe me, the first instinct is to go all Don Logan and shit, and just be like, I hope this goes into the sea, or, you know, or just like, and then find the dude and be like, he touched my front bottom, you know, shit like that.
At this point, you're so glad I'm not with you, because I would have been.
Because you would be Don Logan, where you're like, you know, look, how about I put this cigarette out in your fucking eye, mate? That's you, and I'm the guy who's like the one you're threatening. I would never be that person. Inside, though, I was just like, oh, my God, I wish I was that guy. But I quietly got up, collected my bag. This is the moment, though. This is the moment.
Oh, God.
The moment where I was like, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay, Kevin. Because ultimately, it's just going to become a story that you're going to tell for the rest of your life. As I stand, my hand to God, this is a true story. As I stand and go to get my bag, I make perfect eye contact with a man who is far fatter and wider than me.
Oh, shit.
Squeezed in also to a middle seat 3-4 rows back. Perfect eye contact.
Right.
And at this moment, if I have a lack of character, I'm going to be like, what about Tubby? What about him?
You would never do that.
I would never throw a fellow fatty under the bus or a plane, as it were. So don't say anything. But that dude's fucking eyes, locked with mine, had this panicked expression of like, please don't tell, please don't tell.
Oh, no. I can't laugh at
Totally,
that.
because he saw me getting taken away, and he's like, I'm way fatter than him. They're coming for us. It's finally happened. They're coming for the fatties. They're taking us to Candyland to kill us. Yes, this dude looked so panicked. And so I collected my bag, went off the plane. Now, you're that stewardess. And she wasn't a stewardess. You're that flight attendant, the person that works the fucking desk. You're Suzanne. How fucking tripping over yourself are you to like fucking make sure that I'm not like crying at this point? I wait in the jetway. She's still doing her shit. Then I'm like, I fucking slowly walk up the jetway, depressed, seeing a camera shot from behind me of the wide man walking lonely up the jetway with his head hung low, dragging his bag. Me. Oh, it was heartbreaking. So I go over to this desk, which is, again, fucking 20, 30, fucking 40 yards away from the gate. And I get there, and the two people there are just like, is Suzanne dealing with you? And I was like, I guess. I hope so, buddy. And he goes, okay. And they go back to their fucking shit. And I sit there waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm not shitting you. 8 minutes, because I looked at my phone. I was like, if I went and told somebody or insinuated to someone that they were fucking too fat to fly in a plane and made them wait 8 fucking minutes before I got back to him, I would be Hitler. That's Hitler to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck where's your fucking, where's the customer service and the humanity? Never mind humanity. Look, maybe she's a fatty hater or whatever, fucking, whatever. I'm not saying you gotta respect me because I'm fat. I'm saying you gotta respect me because I'm a goddamn paying fucking customer. I'm revenue, motherfucker. That dude told me I'm revenue. You don't ever treat a paying customer like that. Ever, 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 ever. And I realize that sounds ironic because I made Clerks. Clerks is a movie, people. I would never fucking treat people like that.
And really, like, I'm trying to count in my head. I think we bought 10 Southwest tickets this week.
No shit. I mean, I was sitting there doing the math in my head going
Business
like,
Select, which is their version of Fancy.
$15 more.
And like 10 just this week. Wow.
So
never again.
I'm waiting at the desk, and finally fucking Suzanne bombs up, and I'm like looking at her fucking badge and immediately writing her name down.
Of course.
And I was just like, and she was like, boy, I'm sorry about that. I was like, I bet. I was like, man, what's the name of the pilot? And she was like, I'm sorry. I was like, with the pilot who said I was too fat to fly. She's like, nobody said that. And I was like, why am I off the plane then?
Oh my God.
And she's going, nobody said you were fat. And I was like, what is it then? Why am I here? And she's like, there's safety concerns, sir. And I was like, what safety concerns are you talking about?
Of some sort.
And she goes, there is space allotment for each seat, and we're taking up more than your space allotment. I said, don't fucking do that. Just say fat then. She's like, I didn't say fat. That's your word, not mine. I said, lady, I ain't gonna sue you for calling me fat. I'm sitting here telling you I'm fat. But you're telling me, don't sit here and dance around like I'm taking up more space. Lady, that's a euphemism for fat. Like, just be honest with me. But they can't do that because then you could sue Southwest. But that's fat.